Hey, I've decided to do something a little bit different. When you're out preaching, out in the open air, someone may come up to you and ask you a question or respond a certain way, and you're expected to have an answer back to them. And a lot of times, I don't have the answer, I don't give the answer I wish I would have given, or maybe I could have added to what I've said. So what I'd like to do is actually do something that we'll call time out. I'll play some street preaching, and then I'll stop the tape, come in, and we'll examine some things a little bit differently, maybe expand on them, and then we'll roll the tape again. So we'll do this in tiny excerpts. And then maybe I'll upload the whole entire preaching, non-stop, as I normally do. But let's give it a go.
The Bible says the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Christ Jesus our Lord. There's a gift for you in Jesus. There's a present for you in Jesus, and that's eternal life in Christ Jesus. You have to be in Jesus, inside Jesus. Just how Noah was in the ark. You need to be in Jesus, right? The Noah's ark was a picture of Jesus Christ. And you need to be saved from judgment. Saved from judgment by being inside Jesus Christ.
Does Jesus forgive you?
Oh yeah.
If you repent?
If you repent, yeah, you got to turn from your ways, turn from your sin. Give up everything for Jesus.
I'm trying. It's hard.
Now this girl says something that's revealing. She says it's hard. It's hard to give up your sin. And what we're really dealing with here is the will. Whether you're willing to give something up, whether you want to give up your sin. And I think someone needs to get to that point to where they actually don't want to continue on in sin before they're willing to give it up. I remember I came to that point in my life when I was 38 years old. After living a life of debauchery, I wanted to be free of my pornography, of my drugs, of my drunkenness. It got to the point where I was so sick of my sin that I turned to Jesus. I found out that this is what Jesus does. He saves people from the power of sin. So when this girl says it's hard to stop, it's because the will is not there. She might not be willing to give up her sin. But if we go back to something Jesus said in Luke chapter 14, verse 33, Jesus says, "So likewise, whoever of you that does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple." And forsaking your sin, forsaking your flesh, forsaking your carnal mind, your lust of the flesh is one of those requirements that you must forsake in order to be Jesus' disciple. So it's hard if you do not want to give up your sin. But if you do want to give up your sin and be freed from your sin, and you have faith in what Jesus did, dying on the cross to break the power of sin in your life, then it becomes good news. It's not so hard anymore when you realize there's a way out of your addiction. So, I wish everyone out there would understand that if you want to give up your sin, if you want to get out of the never-ending cycle of sin, the only way to do it is by crying out to Jesus Christ and wanting to be free from your sin. So that's it for this time out. I'm going to play the rest of the interaction with this girl so that you can see it. And like I said, maybe later I'll upload the whole preaching experience at a later time. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. God bless.
But that's where faith comes in. You got to have faith. You got to give it all up. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but Jesus knew it was hard too. He said, strive to enter.
I'm not Jesus though. I'm trying.
You can die to your sin. Listen, here's how it works. Here's how you become born again. If you repent, you die on the cross with Jesus. And the power of sin is put to death in your life. The power of sin is killed in your life. And then you can be resurrected with Jesus now, today. Not when you die. You can be resurrected now. You can have godly power in your life. Oh, I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. Jesus Christ can set you free. Jesus said, you'll know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. 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 Don't you want to be free today?